I ain't hungry. First, I always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving.
Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's gonna run. He's in. Touchdown! Jalen Hurts.
When that cage opens up again, our teeth are snarling. We're drooling. We're ready. We're hungry, ready to hunt again.
Dallas. We hate you. Race is snow. The Eagles train to go. The Eagles win.
And again, and again, and again.
It ain't about them. It's about us. We play up to our potential. Each and every one of us together. Nobody can beat us. I promise you. Promise you.
What is up, my Brus? My bird Brus. We are back. It's another Speaking Birds. It's your boy Speaks. I'm joined here with the crew. The full crew is here once again. We got John and Clayton. What's up, fellas?
How's it going?
What's up? Good to be here.
Oh man, it's going. It's going. Good to have you guys. Good to have you guys here, man. I gotta tell you what. After that game, man, I went down. I went down a bit of a spiral. I wasn't feeling as confident as I once was with these birds. But you know, last night we got to talk about it, guys. Brandon Graham goes on his radio show at WIP, and let's just listen to this. Let's listen to this quick.
I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying, and I mean 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business. And that's where we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? And
so that's Brandon Graham. Okay, first of all, he's got a radio show. I mean, I knew we had this little side project, but I mean, we can get into that then. Guys, what was your take on this? On Brandon Graham coming out, airing some dirty laundry on Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown?
I feel like he kind of made the situation worse. Talks about Jalen and AJ not being friends anymore, which is kind of weird because, you know, before the Panthers game even starts, him, Smitty, and Jalen are praying together. So honestly, we don't know the backstory there, but I think he just made it kind of worse. And I don't know if it's because he's not playing now. All of a sudden, he feels like talking like that. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't know. I'll let you guys speak on it.
Talking out of pocket.
Yeah, like mind your business.
Yeah, honestly, it's a bad look. And the thing that's like, I'm not mad at AJ for, you know, being frustrated on Sunday after the game. I'm disappointed that he chose to show his frustration instead of, because he has in the past just, you know, not did an interview, said, hey guys, I'll catch you next week. You know, I'll catch you during the week. Because he's an emotional player, and he said it before. He said, you know, I'm an emotional player. I want the ball. Sometimes, you know, coming out of the game or at the end of the games, I get emotional. So I understand. I don't think what AJ did was that egregious for BG to go out and do what he did. It's that he dumped gasoline on that fire, man. I mean, he made it 10 times worse than what it was. And then everything that he's saying, he's doing. So he's chastising AJ for going out to the media, and then he turns around and does the exact same thing, but does it worse. He's airing bigger stuff. He's starting bigger fires. Like, I'm with John on this. I don't know how much stock I put into this. AJ and Hurts, you know, don't get along. It's like the Hurts and the head coach not getting along. Like, I didn't put much stock into that, but I mean, there were some, you know, tidbits that came out that made you think like, shit, man, maybe that is true. But right now, I don't believe that. I think it was maybe taken out of context. Like you said, I think he was talking out of pocket. If you listen to that entire interview, man, he is rambling. Like,
yeah,
he sounds like he's high. Like, I don't know if he's on painkillers, and I hate putting that out there because BG is one of my all-time favorite players, man. Like, I don't want to disrespect, and I'm not mad at him either for doing this. I'm just disappointed at him. That, you know, as a 15-year vet, you should know better than to do what you're doing. And you know, his message is correct, but he turned around and did what AJ did, but 10 times worse. Like he's naming names, he's pointing fingers, he's airing stuff that should definitely stay in house. But the message behind it, I get. Like, yeah, dude, if you have a problem with somebody, you go to them face to face. You don't air it out. Like, that's one thing that I cannot stand. Players going to the media and crying to the media. The only thing I hate worse than that is somebody doing it anonymously. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least have the balls to put your name on it. Don't be an anonymous little worm in the locker room, snitch. Put your name on it. But I don't respect that at all. And I think BG really messed up. I knew as soon as I listened to that, I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to have to come right back on the radio and do something tomorrow. He's going to have to do damage control. Sure enough. So
Yeah.
he was walking it back immediately. He talked to ESPN's McManus and, was saying, oh man, yeah, I messed up there. Not as bad as I thought, the relationship. And then he started saying like he doesn't know all the details. It's like, dude, just shut up.
Shut up, BG.
Just
Shut
stop
up.
talking, bro.
Even last night when he was backtracking, he's like, "Oh, I just assumed." It's like that makes it so much worse. So based off of what you notice on their relationship, you're assuming they're not friends anymore. Like,
Right?
yeah, it's like shut up. I gotta say, I'm mad at BG. I'm disappointed. First of all, can you stop with the media stuff? Like, does everyone need to just run around to any hot mic and just start blabbing about everything? Like, okay, like we had to endure the Kelsey thing, and that was enough. And now it's like, now BG, okay, he's got the radio show, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Like, can people just focus on football for 6 months out of the year? Just focus on football. Why do you have to be blabbing every which way? And then the content matter of it all. Look, I mean, I do think that there's a rift between AJ Brown and Hurts, but what Hurts or what AJ Brown said post game wasn't even a big issue. He's a wide receiver. He's upset. He's not, getting the ball to help his team win. That's fine. That's totally fine. What BG did going on radio and just, like not even fueling the fire, creating a new fire, like you said, it's just insane. It's like, it's so bad you would have to think that it was calculated. That's how bad it is. I lost a lot of respect for him.
I know I was kind of quick with my opinion there, but I do want to say I definitely stand behind AJ Brown and what he said. I don't think what he did was out of pocket by any means. He's frustrated. I mean, the Eagles are now the 31st passing offense in the league, so you watch multiple angles of the game this week. He's wide open. One for a gigantic touchdown. He's open on slants. All game long. Hurts just ain't getting it out there, which is, maybe he doesn't want to turn it over and let it rip, which at that point, like, if you're that open, just let it rip. And if you turn it over, then I'm going to accept that. But to not throw to open guys and to get the passing game going, because it's not going to propel us in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
That's my last take on it. I mean, BG, what he did was weak, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah. I don't know. I was super bent out of shape about it last night. I mean, as much as you can be. I wasn't. Yeah,
it's weak. Shows weakness.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. And then it's like, man, you're not even playing. Like, go home. Just go home. Disappear. Why are you creating issues? I mean, like, this is something that could seriously derail our 11-2 season. Yeah. And you're out here not even a factor at this point.
Well, I did see a report from John Clark today that said he asked a bunch of people in the locker room how bad it was, and it's getting way blown out of proportion is what most people are saying.
Oh, I'm blowing it out of proportion. 100%. I'll continue to do it.
Yeah, I mean, BG's there to lead. You just talked about how you're going to be a leader in the locker room. That's not leading. So
yeah,
he's this is my one mess up a year. It's like, dude, this isn't a traffic violation. Like,
no, if you listen to that, that whole show, it was like a 50-minute plus show, and he's going in on AJ that entire show, man. Like, he is going. It's not just like that segment that you played. No, man, that's the entire show. Is him rambling like that? It's like, man, that's not being a good leader. Like John said there. That's not at all being a good leader. And you should know, as a 15-year vet, man, you should know that. You can't just go in and go ham on, and then also he's setting it up to, and he even made mention of it during it. He's like, I don't want it to get where it's Team AJ or Team Hurts. It's like, dude, you saying that just made it Team AJ or Team Hurts. Like, what you're doing here just created that.
Dude, Clayton, it's so bad. It's so bad. It has to be calculated. Like, this is like some like,
it blows my mind.
This is some like Michael Scott level, like, like just oblivious.
Oh my, yeah, like I honestly, like I was like, dude, is he trying to like deflect and bring everything on him since he's not playing? And I don't know. Like, I don't know what the mindset was when he decided to go on there. And maybe when he first addressed it, like at the because they asked right at the very beginning, and then that's when he drops that bombshell that 1's trying, and 11 needs to be better about how he handles stuff. And I know they were friends before this. Like, what the fuck? Why would you even drop that little piece there? What are you doing? Come on. And I'm with you, John. Like, I understand AJ. The only thing that I had with AJ, I had any
that he
disagreement.
Did it in the media, but still,
just chill. And I get it, 100%. But you just won the game. So if it was a loss, dude, be pissed, because it needs to wake the quarterback up. It needs to wake the whole freaking team up. But you just won. Like, if you're feeling a certain way, I get it, dude. Watching that game again, whoa, I get it, bro. But just
look at this too.
Give media anything to kill us for, and then BG did that.
In the 9-game win streak, the Eagles have 1,501 net passing yards. That's the fewest by any team during a 9-game win streak in 20 years.
Curious what their rush yards are. It's probably also the same.
I have it then. Second fewest in almost half a century. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback with 9 straight games without throwing 30 passes in any of those since Roethlisberger in 2004. So it's like, I mean, that's fucking frustrating, dude. I'm frustrated.
Well, I mean, honestly, when they switched the after coming out of the bye and they decided to switch the entire offense over, there's not going to be many balls to go around.
Yeah, but you got to think about it like this too. Like, as I'm just going to speak for Saquon Barkley now. This may not be how he thinks, or I would think this is how he thinks, but you want the receivers to be getting the fucking ball, because then that opens up more for you. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to break off those big chunks. You know what I mean? So,
but he's doing it without it.
I know, but you want AJ and Smitty getting them big balls. You know what I mean? Because then, obviously now they're not going to fucking stack the box, and they got to, respect those guys on the outside. So at least I would like to think, and Saquon's more, he's a professional. So,
oh yeah, I think you're right with that. I mean, yeah. Well, here's the catch-22 of it all. Like, okay, people are starting to speculate that Hurts is not wanting to turn the ball over. He's being more cautious. He's not throwing it, which I don't know if I buy totally, because there are moments where AJ Brown's open. It's not necessarily it's not a what am I trying to say here?
Turnover type.
Yeah,
throw.
He's not putting it in harm's way. But so would you rather see Hurts start slinging it again, and maybe he's got a knucklehead turnover, a knucklehead interception every game, or
I think this is the biggest thing that's going through his head, is when he doesn't turn the football over, it's almost a guaranteed win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that's what's going through his head. But and Clayton maybe will attest to this, some of them slants that they could probably hit AJ on. Jalen Hurts seems to get those things batted down more than anybody, because he's not super tall. His release isn't real high. You know what I mean? So, some of them might have been batted, but we'll never know.
Yeah.
Man, I heard that this narrative popping up too, that maybe he's just not wanting to turn the ball over. I don't know what he's being coached to do, but I can tell you right now, rewatching that game from Sunday, there were times where AJ had nobody around him. So even if you're in trouble, you're off balance, and you sling it down the field in his direction, it's still a safe throw. That's how wide open at points he was. So it's like, dude, I don't understand what he's being coached, what the progressions are. If they do have a problem, and if that's the case, and they do have a problem, and it's leaking out on the field to where, you're your quarterback's not going to throw it to your star receiver, then that's a serious issue. I don't think it's that, but there are times watching Sunday that I'm scratching my head like, what's he seeing? What's he being coached? What's the read on this? Because it's egregious how open AJ is a lot that game.
Wasn't last week when he went to the tent for the concussion and he came back?
No, that was a week before. That was
I don't know.
the Ravens game, I believe. Yeah. No, last week he was fine. Like he didn't he didn't take too many big hits or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like I said
Fluke.
during the
I think
post,
it's a fluke. Bad game.
Bad game. That's what I'm chalking last week up to. That was just a bad game. Every player has it. I don't care who you are. Mahomes has bad games. You know,
I'll say
it's gonna happen.
I'll say this and then I'll let you go quick, Alex. But being the 31st in passing and first in rushing, that's not sustainable for the playoffs. No other big team, the Lions, I think they're, you know, top 7 in both, if not top 5. Some of the other big teams are around, you know, in passing and rushing, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just not sustainable. So we got to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, Clayton, so we're all chalking up Hurts as that's a bad game. Is that what you guys are chalking it up to?
This last one for now, yeah. I mean, look, 100%, we're going to have to throw this coming game. Like, we are going to have to throw. I mean, I thought we might have to throw in the Ravens game with their run defense, but I'm thinking the Steelers defense is going to come in planning to shut down Saquon, because especially after last week, like seeing what they've seen. And then if they're buying any of this turmoil that's going on between, you know, wide receiver 1 and your quarterback, like, make them beat you, you know? And he's going to have to. We're going to see it. And if it looks like it did Sunday, if he's missing wide open people, if he's not throwing, like not pulling the trigger when it's there, you know, I get that he holds the ball. Like, that's shit that we knew about Hurts. Like, and it's not going to change. He's not going to throw with anticipation. He's not going to throw on time. He's going to hold the ball. Like, that shit. But if it looks like it did Sunday, yeah, man, I'm going to be concerned, because this is the last real team that we're going to face moving forward until the playoffs. Like, I'm sorry, like I said, Washington, I'm not sold on them. And you've seen Dallas last night and freaking Giants on Sunday. Like, they're terrible. Those are 2 terrible franchises right now. They're spiraling. So you got Washington and you got the Steelers. And you need to play well. And honestly, showcase the pass game just to do it once. Just to shut everybody up. I'm ready for it. Hold on real quick, because the coach keeps saying this too, that we can beat you anyway. It's just how do we can pick how to beat you. Then how about we pick to use the pass game once, just to shut everybody up?
Yeah. The other thing, I don't know how many times we ran in the first half, but I know Saquon Barkley only touched the ball 9 times in the first half. And sure, you know, he had this equipment issue that seemed to take, you know, half of the first quarter, but so it's not like they ran him like crazy in the first half. That's all I wanted to point out.
Yeah. Well, like even just like a macro, like trickle down, like effect that like going to the media has. So, okay, after last game, you got AJ Brown airing out that he's upset. And then you have BG doing whatever he did on his radio show. And so Kellen Moore comes out today and says it's going to be an emphasis to get AJ Brown the ball. Had all of this stuff happen behind the scenes, what do you think the Steelers are doing when they hear all this? They're going to make it an emphasis to shut AJ Brown down. So had all this stuff gone on behind the scenes, AJ Brown, you could game plan a sneaky game for him.
Yeah. I didn't see Moore's interview today. Jesus Christ.
I think they'll do the exact opposite. I think they're going to stack the box and just make Jalen Hurts beat them, because obviously if he's not throwing the ball to open receivers, if you're watching any of that tape last week, I mean, I'm going to stop Saquon and make you beat me through the air without a doubt.
Yeah.
And they have a good enough defense to do it. So, like, they can accomplish that goal. So, we're going to see. And like I said, I don't know where I stand right now. Right, if you had a gun to my head and I had to choose, right now I'm still fine. I'm still calm. I think last week was an anomaly. It was just a bad game all around for most of the people on this team. The drama afterwards, like Philly doing Philly things, and then we'll see where we're at come Sunday evening here. If they come out and play uninspired, or they look like they're, off, and they're out of sync, then I'm more worried, man. Then I'm going from calm to, okay, I'm legit concerned now. But right now, again, where we're at, I trust the coaches, I trust the players. I can't believe, one of the biggest leaders, one of the longest tenured people in the, history of this city would come out and do what he did to become a distraction. But I'm still riding with him, dude. I'm still feeling good about it. And I'm ready to see what we do against the Steelers here. I'm actually excited to see it.
Man, my panic button is broken. I've done nothing. I've done nothing but just punch that thing from the time the game ended until now. Still continuing. Man, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's PTSD from last year going into week 15, hearing the phrases, we have 4 weeks to get the passing game right. Just like just hearing those things. Because remember last year was, going into the playoffs, like this team will click. It's like, it's so sickening.
I know we played down to the Panthers, but one thing to think about is the last 4 games minus the Eagles game, they've lost by 3 points or less. So, I mean, they're playing above what they do. You know what I mean? And we simply just played bad and played down, which we're also known to do.
Well, here's another positive spin on this whole thing. I mean, like, think about us as fans, right? We go into that. What was the stretch? Remember, we're putting the race car down on the track. We got these 4 games, these 5 games. Washington's going to be tough. Baltimore's that big game. We're really looking forward to that. I mean, as fans, we're like exhausted. We're like holding our breath. We're exhausted. I mean, look, maybe. I mean, look, the players they're there too. They're there more than us. So maybe they're exhausted. They needed to just like exhale a bit because they knew that was a tough stretch, and maybe that was a product. The Carolina game was a product of that. Hopefully,
definitely a wake up game, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those games that it feels like a loss, but it's nice because you didn't lose. So
Right.
you get the benefits of, hey guys, we need to lock it in here. We need to wake up and lock it the fuck in the rest of the way here. Like, we're not just going to be able to sleepwalk our way to the playoffs. Like, obviously I didn't mention, we clinched a playoff berth with that win, but it's getting everything in sync when you get there, having it in sync when you arrive at the playoffs. That's the goal right now. And you can't sleepwalk to do that. Like, you're going to have to show up every day. It's going to be a grind from here to the end. And not all the opponents are going to be worth getting up for, but God damn it, that game showed you need to. Because if you sleep on any one of these teams, they can knock you off. And if you're serious, and I know our chances of getting the number 1 seed are slim to none, but if you're serious about that, like, you can't drop a game. You have to win out.
That was going to be my point. The Lions play the Bills this week. That could be a possible loss for them. And then they got the Bears, the Niners, and then the Vikings, which could be a great game.
I think they dropped that Bills game. I don't know. Bills coming off of that, just kind of like,
yeah.
I'll
they
tell
could
you what,
potentially drop that Vikings game, man, the way they're getting close to losing some of these games. So, I mean, you realistically have to win out if you want that number 1 seed.
the trash ass whiners look better last week. So, what team is going to show up this week type of team. So I don't put it past them going in there and just upsetting them out of nowhere. So they got some tough games. I mean, it is possible that they could drop 2 of these last 5. I just, we would need to win out basically because we don't hold any tie breaks over them. So if we have the same record, they're the number 1 seed. I think the same with the Vikings. So we need to win out and we need them to drop. And I think we need the Vikings to drop 1 too.
yeah, they need to drop 1.
Speaking of the playoffs, something positive here. Sirianni is the 6th coach in NFL history take his team to the postseason in each of his first 4 seasons, and only Andy Reid has taken more Eagles teams to the postseason. Since 1988, Eagles have reached the playoffs 23 out of 37 years. No team has been in the playoffs more. The Packers are tied with us, and then they'll likely make the playoffs this year. So
Nice.
something a little positive there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how weird must this be for Nick? Usually Nick's putting out his own fires. He's having to put out another fire. It's like, thank God it's not me, man. Like, geez. It's usually me putting my foot in my mouth or doing something stupid.
He's about to
Hey.
he's about to fully nair his head this week.
Just straight razor.
Yes,
Straight
yes.
razor.
Love it.
Yeah. You know the worst part about the Brandon Graham debacle was I had to see Freddie Mitchell go live on Instagram with T.O.
Oh my gosh.
Freddie Mitchell's just laying on his couch live on Instagram. Like, oh my God.
Oh
Ugh.
yeah, T.O. didn't waste any time.
Oh man, he
As soon as McNabb said something, T.O. was all over McNabb.
it's impressive how it like that grudge has been kept alive. Like,
Yeah, it's impressive how much hate is still there between those two after all these years. It's crazy.
yeah. Man.
But I get it, man. T.O. didn't die during that Super Bowl. 5 did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean McNabb went out like drinking heavy the night before. Isn't that kind of
That's the rumors. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
rumors, and that's why he was dying at the end.
That's crazy.
Sheesh.
If
I mean,
that's
that's
true, yeah, if that's true, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I don't need to hear from Donovan McNabb at all.
Oh, he loves chiming in too.
Yeah. Well, guys, should we take a quick break, and when we get back, look ahead at this? Did we air it all out? I feel like I said everything I wanted to say on the BG thing, and everything else. Should we take a quick break?
Let's do it.
All right. We are back. We are back. And we look ahead. It's Pittsburgh week. Man, a cross-state rivalry, if you will. What connects? The Turnpike? Is that the Turnpike? The Interstate?
Yep,
I
Turnpike.
feel like I asked this every time. I feel like I asked this last time. Guys,
76.
Here's a little history lesson between the Eagles and the Steelers. What do you guys know about the Steagles? Anything? Well, back in I think 1941. This was 1941. The 1943 season is when they played, but 1941 is when we entered World War II. So when we entered World War II, obviously we were down some men. The NFL was down some men. So the Eagles and the Steelers combined their forces. Now they weren't named the Steagles. That was a name the media gave them, but they were the I believe it was like the Pittsburgh Philly team. And they primarily, now here's what I liked reading. They functioned out of Philly, and Philly had like the most home games. So they were essentially Philly's team. Pittsburgh kind of latched on like they do over there. And the media named them the Steagles. Let's take a look here. Let's see what was their record. They finished 5-4-1. They were third in the NFL Eastern in 1943. And yeah, that's a little just a little tidbit.
They played
Guys.
at Franklin Field.
Yes, Franklin Field.
Is that where they did? Is that where it was? All right, nice.
No, wait, hold on. I thought I saw it. Where did they play? Yeah, guys. I got us that far. I feel like that I got us far enough. I got us far enough in that. I don't know if they played in Franklin Field. Let's see. I'll look it up as we're moving along. I'll have an answer for you guys. But yeah, Steagles guys, Pittsburgh week. How we feeling?
Good.
Yeah, after last week, looked a little rough. I feel like we're going to play up to a better team here.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I think this slowly became a must-win for the Eagles for the season. I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like a loss here. This thing's catching on fire with a loss. So I feel good about it too. Yeah, especially with Steelers being out Pickens. I think it'll fall in our favor.
Yeah, I mean, you're not throwing on us anyway, really. So Pickens or not.
Yeah. Man, yeah, go ahead, Clayton.
No, I was gonna say Russ, is historically had our number, but he's never seen an Eagles defense like this, a secondary at least. He's seen us, when we had a ferocious pass rush, but I don't know, man. I know he's playing better and they're looking, better as the season goes on here, but I think our defense can handle it. It's just, hopefully the offense shows up and it's not the same Jalen that we've seen last week.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, man, hopefully we come out swinging. I mean, like these not getting points on the opening drive thing is like, the more I think about that, the more it just like bothers me. Like, how can you not string together just anything to get you some, like a score? I think this is the week. I don't know. I was thinking about it. I do think this is the week we go in. I think we set the tone. Oh man, I sound delusional. Do I sound delusional here?
No.
Yeah, I think we set the tone, and I think we win this thing. I think we get back on track. Here's not to harp on the AJ Brown Hurts thing, but just like, okay, I know they had like the Fresh Prince celebration. Man, I want to see an AJ Brown touchdown, Hurts sprinting downfield, and I want there to be an embrace. I just want there to be like put it to bed. Put it to bed. I'm optimistic that'll happen.
I would
really
love that to happen.
Like, they don't really give us that stuff, like I need that.
Yeah, I want him to hold him up like he's on the front of the Titanic.
Man,
like Baby and Dirty Dancing, fucking up over the head.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I honestly, I'm not hitting the panic button like I said before, but this game, man, this is a big game, and I'm still feeling good about it. I feel like you, dude. I don't think you're delusional, man. I think we're gonna go out there. It's the first the first drive stuff in the first quarter, not scoring again. I have no idea. That is baffling to me. I've never seen anything like this before. It's always something every single drive in the first quarter. If you're not getting penalized, it's some stupid breakdown in execution, bad play call, getting behind the sticks, or like I said, it's a penalty. It's every single drive in the first quarter, and then they get their shit together and move forward. They're the best second, third, and fourth scoring team, and it's not even close in the league. They just don't do anything in the first quarter at all.
Yeah.
It's baffling. I don't understand it. And watching it for, 13 games here, I have no idea. I have no idea how to fix it. I can identify what's happening. I don't know how to fix that.
It is baffling. Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts got asked about it, and his answer was something along the lines of like, well, yeah, that's what we've been doing. Like, that's like sort of like that's what you can expect. And I was like, what? No, that's not what you say there. Like, we shouldn't expect that. He's like, I don't know, but I got a good feeling. I think we're gonna set the tone on this one. They're coached good. Like, I like Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. Hot take?
It's never had a losing season.
Yeah, I mean, it's that right there in itself. I mean,
here's what also
impressive.
Yeah, here's what also got me. Have you guys watched the HBO in season, or like the what do they call it? Like the NFL films?
Yeah, the Hard Knocks. Yeah.
See, they make all these teams. They edit it up for these teams to be like. I mean, they're a solid team, but I'm like, man, they're intense. They're going hard. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. But yeah, man, they're physical. If we can run the table on the AFC North, that's impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Two of those teams are really, really good, and the other two are, no joke either. I know people want to say that the Browns are a clown show, whatever, dude. They're one quarterback away from being legit. I mean, they have talent up and down that roster. That defense is loaded. They're just a quarterback away. That's all they need, and they've been looking for one for 30 years. Like, jeez. But yeah, and then you swing over to the Bengals, man. Not a great defense, but one of the best offenses, one of the best quarterbacks in wide receiver combos in the league, and that's it's not debatable. And they eat every week, and we shut them down. We're one of the few teams that went in there. We went into their home where we never won before and shut them down. And then you look at the Ravens. Everybody was all over the Ravens. We shut the world up when we beat them. I don't hear shit about the Ravens anymore. That's all gone, dude. We ended that. The Reapers, dude.
We're the Reapers, man. We're the Rivian Reapers, dude.
Dude, so
we're coming for you.
We're coming for you, Pittsburgh. So we're next, man. And I cannot wait for this game.
I'm pumped. I am pumped for this game. I know like you should be pumped for every game, but this one I'm like, this is like, I don't know. I'm into it.
About to go to Ted's and act a fool.
Oh, please do it.
Man. How like, because yeah, growing up in like Harrisburg, like it's kind of a mix, right? Would you say it's more Steelers fans than Eagles fans around that area?
Yeah, I'd say it's more
Yeah.
Steelers and Ravens than Eagles fans.
Really?
Yeah, the Ravens get a lot of love a little north, like up in the core region here. I see a lot of Steelers Ravens stuff. I don't see hardly any Philly stuff up here.
Sheesh. But yeah, it's you want to shut those fans up because even man, I remember growing up. Man, they're so annoying. They'd be so annoying.
Mm.
And I gotta tell you, I always because of that, and I had an instance the one time where I took a train to Chicago and I had like a 6-hour layover in Pittsburgh. I think it was February. It was middle of February at like probably 2 a.m. to like 8 a.m. And it was miserable. So I was like, you know what? I hate this city, blah, blah, blah. But I've actually come around when I as an adult to Pittsburgh. I've had some good times in their city. And I think leaving like the Steelers fans and not having to deal with them, I've kind of loosened up my stance on the Steelers a bit. But that underlying just kind of like wanting to beat them is still there. Like I don't want to got to beat them. And a lot of it was probably jealousy, right? Like they're the ones that were winning Super Bowls. They were the ones that had the quarterback. You know.
Sure.
All right. Getting into it. Have you guys been to Pittsburgh at all?
Yeah, it's actually a fun city to hang out in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think I will do the Permane Bros. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah. I think I'm going to do it. It's just, I don't know where I'm going to get that bread. And I like the white, thick bread.
Yeah.
Just cut it yourself. It's like an Italian bread. You can just slice it how thick you want.
So
What,
that's what you think.
What's the beer out there? Iron City? You got to get some Iron Cities. You got to get some Iron Cities going.
I don't know if I have access to a Pittsburgh beer. I would love that though. Like I don't know is there like a mainstream Pittsburgh beer? I don't think so.
Know. That's the only there was somebody I knew, and every time anybody went out to Pittsburgh, they would always be like, pick me up some Iron City. I'm like, God, it's not that good, dude. It's not worth bringing home every time. Like, whatever.
Dude, that's like the Pacific Northwest. Have you guys ever heard of the beer Rainier or whatever?
Rainier, yeah.
Yeah, it's like all I've ever heard about from anyone that's remotely by Portland is, oh man, this is our water. We live off this. We live off that. Blah blah blah. Can't go home without bringing some. And then I tried one. It's like a PBR. It's like a watered down PBR. I was like, this is what you guys need to have at all times. I guess it's all memories and such. But yeah, I think that's the vibe. That's the move. John, you got any stats or anything for us?
Yeah, man. Eagles are the first team to make the playoffs despite scoring 17 or fewer first quarter points in their 13 games since 2001.
Good God.
And it was the Bucks who scored 16. First team to win 11 games despite scoring 17 points in the first quarter of their first 13 games since the 86 Giants, who scored 12, but they won the Super Bowl.
All right.
First team in the last 50 years to win 11 of 13 games despite being outscored by 40 or more points in the first quarter.
Outscored by 40 or more in the first quarter.
A little Russian stuff here. The Eagles have 2,476 rushing yards this year, third most by any NFL team after 13 games in 40 years. Falcons in 06 and the Ravens in 19. We're on pace for 3,237 rushing yards, which will be the third most in history, besides the 48 Niners, who have like 3,663 in 14 games, and the 19 Ravens, who have 3,296.
Damn.
16, to We're only 239 yards shy of the franchise record of 2,715 set by the 2021 team, and then the 5.2 rushing average is the second highest in history at the moment, behind, you'll like this, Alex, the 2010 team with Vic and McCoy, who averaged 5.4,
Ooh.
which could change.
Yep.
So, passing game, I think I said that the 1,501 net passing yards in their 9-game win streak, fewest by any team during a 9-game win streak in 20 years. Yeah, I said that. Eagles defense has now held 9 straight opponents under 20 or fewer points. Jags scored 23, but only 15 were on the defense. Longest streak holding under 20 points was in 2003. All 9 opponents during the win streak under 225 net passing yards. First time since 97, which matches their longest streak since 10 games, since 79. The 1,372 passing yards allowed since the Browns game is the fewest in any 9-game span since 2001.
Nice.
That's the only team stats I have. I have some Saquon stuff and Gardner Johnson.
Throw him out there, dude.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley, only third back in NFL history with 1,600 rushing yards and a 6.1 yards per carry after 13 games. This 1,623 yards are 9th most in history through 13 games since Chris Johnson had 1,626 with the Titans in 2009. And this is Barkley's 9th 100-yard game of the year. I wrote this down too because he needs to average 120.5 yards per game to beat Dickerson for the record. He has 1,141 rushing yards over the last 8 games, most in Eagles history in an 8-game span. Previous was McCoy with only 874 in 8 games. First player since Adrian Peterson in 2012 with 1,100 yards and a 6.5 average in 8 games. Now, this one's crazy. I'm going on to CJ Gardner Johnson. 9 picks in 25 games as an Eagle. Most interceptions most interceptions by a player in 25 games since Eric Allen, who had 10 in 88, 89. Shoot. This one's cool here. CJ and Reed Blankenship have had 16 of the Eagles' last 28 interceptions, and CJ wasn't even on the team last year.
Wow.
This one you'll like, Clayton. No kicker. This is Jake Elliott. No kicker is going 0 for 5 or worse from 50 yards or more in a full season in 30 years. And the last was none other than Morton Anderson.
I know it. I was going to say I knew who it was. It was Morton Anderson, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Little Tecmo Bowl action there.
Yeah.
He's dropped from 13th in NFL history with an 86.2% accuracy to 84.9, and he's now 23rd.
Wow.
Jesus.
The only other thing that's cool is this is Zach Bond. This is my last one, so I'll hurry it up. But playing with the Panthers or versus the Panthers this last game, he had 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 2 QB hits. In 62 games with the Saints, he had 88 total tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 8 QB hits, 1 interception, 2 sacks, 2 passes defended, 0 forced fumbles. In 13 games with the Eagles, he has 129 total tackles, 9 for loss, 5 QB hits, 3.5 sacks, 3 passes defended, 4 forced fumbles. Possible defensive player of the year? Question mark. I think so.
Definitely. Did you see him and Jacoby are tied for the most run stops in the league at 33
Yeah, I saw
apiece.
that. Yeah.
That's beastly. Like a lot of the national guys I'm seeing starting to come around on Bond. He's getting a lot of attention.
If you watch the tape, if you legit watch the tape, he pops off. Like, you can't watch it and not see this guy, what he's doing. Now, mind you, he is benefiting from those linemen eating up front, eating up blocks. People aren't getting to the second level as easily on our linebackers, which are helping them. But even so, dude, like, he is making the most out of those opportunities. So, I mean, if that's like the one thing that I seen, like, people were like, well, yeah, he's getting all this help from. It's like, dude, first of all, like, is that a negative? Like, and secondly, he's eating, so he's doing what he's supposed to do when you do get that help. So that you shouldn't knock him for it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah.
Blazing through his gaps too, you know what I mean? So like, obviously their job is, the line's job is gap protection. and he's just eating up his job basically.
Mhm.
So
At an incredible level, man. He's playing, like you said, defensive player of the level or of the year level at this
in
time
my
right now.
opinion, best
I mean,
linebacker in the league easily.
yeah, and like for a few weeks there, I was like, man, Fred Warner's no. Watching these two, no, Zach Bond, dude. Zach Bond is the best linebacker in the league right now. Not saying he's always going to be or that he always was. I'm just saying right now he's playing the best linebacker play in the league, and I don't even think it's a debate. Another thing I wanted to throw out there: do you know our cornerbacks do not have one interception this year? Everything's from the safeties and linebackers. That's
Yes.
fucking bizarre, dude.
Yeah, I think now that you mention it, yeah.
The one possible one that could have happened was the one where Rogers bats it to CJ because he said that his son was in his eyes.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, Quignon's could have had a bunch now, but
for sure. Should have had a bunch.
so
Are we throwing out a Q interception on this game?
and I'd love to see it, but after
I would,
watching,
yeah.
it's like I just don't see it anymore. Like I mean, it'll come. Don't get me wrong; he'll get one eventually. But some of the things I see, like that last one, he had a chance to pick one, and he had like T-Rex arms, like they barely left his chest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's one part of his game that's going to have to evolve. Like, and I'll take it. I'll take that part because he's so good in coverage and in lockdown. So I'll take that trade. Just as long as it does come eventually. Like he needs to start these ones that are like give me's. He needs to start coming up with those. But I get it. You're a rookie. I'll give you a pass for now. But I don't know next year at this time if we're in the same situation. I'm still as lenient.
And while we're at
Yeah.
it, Slay had a hell of a game last week too.
He really did. People are kind of hard on Slay this year. He's been solid, man. Like I'm okay with Slay being out there.
Yeah, he looks banged up, man. Like
Mhm.
I feel like it's like he's always like grimacing from his back or knee or I almost like kind of feel for the guy. Looks like his body is kind of
Makes you
think he
wonder
ga-
if he will hang it up.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just to
think
like
he
jump.
gave up. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead, John.
I think he only gave up like 2 receptions, and like I did see like his passer rating for throws against was like super low. It was like 39.
It was in the
something.
30s. Yeah, it was in the 30s.
I mean, which is crazy. You don't ever really see that. But go ahead, Alex. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna hop back to Zach Bond. You guys probably saw. I think this was maybe a week or two ago, but he's outpacing Luke Kuechly's 2013 Defensive Player of the Year campaign.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still like that, but he's definitely playing at that level.
I mean, I think he's surpassed it. The only thing he doesn't have is the interceptions that Kuechly had.
Yeah, God,
which I
that'd be
think was
awesome.
Like 4. I think he had like 4 in a year, but that ain't the only factor,
No, for sure.
Man, wouldn't it be awesome to like run the table on some of these?
That'd be great.
I don't think Allen's given up on the MVP. I mean, he had 6 touchdowns, Sunday night. So
Here's a question I'll throw at you guys. Honest opinion. Would you rather have Saquon break Dickerson's record and get the MVP and not win the Super Bowl, or he doesn't do
No.
either and we win the Super Bowl?
Yeah. No,
Oh.
no chance. Super
Okay.
Bowl's
Yeah.
or bust.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Super Bowl.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
some people are getting wild with this stuff, with this, like the Saquon MVP stuff. I'm over it. Like I'm
Yeah.
completely over it. I'm done with the conversation. I honestly don't care if he gets it. I'll be happy for him. I think that's cool. I don't care. I don't care. Like I'll be happy. That's it. I don't want it. All I care about is winning a championship here, and we have the team to do it. We have the opportunity to do it in front of us. And the question
Yeah.
is, will we do it?
This is the year to do it too. I mean,
yeah, this is it,
you
man.
never know
because-
how the next year falls.
Yeah.
Free agents, we could lose Becton, we could lose
Bond.
Milton Williams, Bond. This is that could be a real disaster.
Yeah, nothing's
So-
guaranteed, except for what's right in front of you this season. So next year, you can't say that even though you have your core intact, that you're going to be, right back in it. I think 23 taught us that. Even though they were winning, that team didn't seem the same as the 22 team did. And you're thinking, every single game is close. It's like, God, man, this doesn't look the same. It could be the same next year. We could come in and just start, being inconsistent as hell, dropping games left and right. So we have to take advantage of what's in front of us here. We have to finish it. I'm done with the MVP talk. I'm done with the Dickerson record. If all of that happens, great, man. That's awesome. I love it that that will happen, and that record will be in Philly, and that it went to Saquon because I really do like the guy. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the hype. I'm sick of hearing about it. It's almost, I won't say refreshing, but it's almost good that the topic was forced to be changed this week off of that, because that's all it's been the last couple. So I don't think we'll hear too much MVP chat from the talking heads this week. I think it's all going to be doom and gloom in Philly. The sky's falling. Jalen and AJ hate each other, which, again, I don't know if that's true.
There's no way it's true.
I think it's
his
true.
daughter-
I think it's true. I think it's true. There's something there. I don't know if they hate each other. That's a strong word, but I don't know if they're as tight as they were when they were FaceTiming each other on draft night.
Maybe.
I think it's football frustration, man. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe something happened behind the scenes, but
if it was something like I think it was you, Alex, that said that it was quoting some report that said it was like irreparable between two male.
Yeah.
And it's like, that almost seems like a female would be involved there. And if that's the case, dude, like if it was irreparable, I can't do the old Fresh Prince celebration with you. I can't sit there and pray with you,
or sign an extension, with
I'm AJ, I'm out of here, dude. Like,
I can't do another year with you.
Exactly, I'm done. Like, and it's not like he's gonna have a hard time finding another job. Every team in the league will line up to pay the man whatever he wants. He's one of the best receivers in the league, so it's not that he chose to stay here. He chose to lock in. So I maybe there is a little bit of a fracture there, but I do not think it's as big as it's being made out to be. Maybe that you say John Clark said that it's being way overblown.
Yeah, he said he was talking to people in the locker room. It was I don't know. He went on. I saw it on his Facebook, but it was like a live. I don't know if it was on TV or what he did it for, but was saying that it's being overblown.
I've said all this before, and I'm not going to go down this path too much, but okay, we've been dealing with this for about a year now, and I've said this in the past. Not that they have to, not that they contractually have to do any of this, and they don't need to. But you're a company guy. You're all about the team. Just post something. Like just give us something that would indicate that everything is just blown out of proportion. It's like they stay silent, and it just feeds to this
Well, then
narrative.
you change. Not only are you staying silent, you change your social media to the Joker, man. It's like, damn, wow, what's happening? Fucking Joker's in here running wild.
It could be possible it's a joke. You know what I mean?
It could be.
It's the joke, but like, I get it. What Alex is saying, like post something, whatever. But the Philly media is the worst media on the planet. You know what I mean? So if I'm AJ Brown, I'm like, fuck them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give them. Go ahead, talk shit about me. It's only going to give me motivation.
Well, here's everybody doesn't like WIP, and then our longest tenured guy runs to them. Like he's ponying up next to them, being a shill for the media that tries to tear our team apart. I don't know.
And for the BG show, like that was something that was planned this last year. And I know it was like he was viewing it as like a stepping stone because he does want to get into like commentary and TV after his career's over. So it's kind of like he's using that as to to prep himself for it. But dude, you're not going to be able to get into TV if you're going on there running off at the mouth like you're running off at the mouth here, bro. Like you're going to have to
fucking Diddy singing songs like Diddy, dude. Singing songs, like Jesus Christ, guy.
Man. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. But with the media thing, yeah, I get that they're always bad, but like, man, they didn't do anything but probably feed you booze and give you a mic.
Yeah, for sure.
You did it to yourself.
You did the rest.
Okay, before we move on from the Saquon Barkley, because we're all tired of hearing about it. I just want to throw out a hypothetical here. It's week. It's the final game of the season. We're at the Giants. Seating's all locked up. There's nothing to gain from this game. He's 100 yards away. What are you doing?
Man, it's hard for me to say because I'm selfish and I love stats. Obviously, I read them every week. You know what I mean? But I'm probably gonna play him. But
What
knock
seed are
on
we?
wood if something stupid fucking happened.
Let's
I'd
say
kill myself over it.
let's say we're 3 seed
Oh, okay.
or
that
2
definitely
seed. I don't know,
affects
or 2 seed. We're
Yeah.
I
The
don't think
only
we're gonna,
the only thing that affects my judgment is if we're the 1 seed. If we get that bye afterwards, I would trot him out there. And mind
Okay.
you, I'm not trotting him out there. Some people were talking about this, maybe just run him out there with the seconds. It's like no. If you're sending Saquon out there, you're sending the whole squad out there. So you're putting everybody's life on the line to get this record.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good take.
we're not sending him out half-assed. Like the whole unit showing up, and we're going hard until we get it. And the second he gets it, we're off the field and into the locker room. Doesn't matter what the score is. We don't care. It's already locked up. We can drop the game. It doesn't matter. That's where I'm at with it. If it's a 2nd seed or a 3rd seed, no, I'm not even attempting it. Everybody sit the fuck down. This is your bye. This is our bye for the week, for the playoffs, I mean.
80 yards.
Honestly, 60 yards is 65, 70 is maybe the top. But then again, man, it's the Giants. So it would be so cool to go out there and just break it on the Giants.
That's
man.
football cinematic. That's
Yeah. So that's a tough one, man. If it's 100 yards, 100%. Unless we're the number 1 seed, I'm not going. 80 yards.
yeah. That would be absolutely.
All right, here, hold on before we
Yeah.
wrap this up. Got this little Steagles extra. So they were scheduled for they played at Shibe Park and they played at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. So they played at Shibe Park in Philly. They played 4 games at home at Shibe and 2 home at Forbes in Pittsburgh. But they did wear the Eagles Kelly green.
Nice.
Here's a little fun fact I didn't know until just now. They were co-coached, so they had 2 head coaches basically. One was a Steelers coach, Walt Kissling, and the Eagles coach, Greasy Neal, and those 2 guys hated each other. So apparently it was an extremely hard season to coach with these 2 because they could not stand each other. They couldn't stand being in the same room with each other. So that was probably a fun environment.
Man, yeah. Talk about some riffs. Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, I did read that. Like the Eagles, like they were basically the Eagles team, and then we threw a bone.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll throw 2 out there for you guys. Not that anybody's showing up to see.
I wonder if they. Yeah. I was gonna say. I wonder if there's like a throwback, but you said they wore the Kelly green.
Yep.
I do think there is one that they made later on.
I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I think you're right.
Because I remember looking at
Eagles
it.
uniform.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick one up. Oh man, I just googled this. This guy's got one sewn together. That's atrocious. Well, on that note, guys, anything else that you wanna go over, discuss, looking ahead to the Steelers?
I'm good.
No, I just want to say, stay strong, Eagle Nation. I know this weekend isn't what we're looking, to see at this time of the year, but we're in good shape. We'll be fine. We're gonna go in and stomp a mud hole on the Steelers here at the Link Sunday.
Yeah.
We're gonna get right.
Yeah.
Should we do predictions? You want to throw out some quick predictions? You guys want to lead us off?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Clayton.
So I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit of a closer game, maybe a little bit lower scoring. I think it's going to be a super physical game. So I'm taking the Eagles 28, Steelers 17.
Ooh, 28. I like that. John, you got one?
I was going to say 27, Eagles. What was your second number, Clayton?
17.
Let's go 14.
All right.
Steelers.
I'm gonna go 23-21.
Okay.
Tight one.
23-21
Tight
Eagles.
one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think we'll see. I already said it. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
I had to change the way I picked my my scores for the Eagles because Elliott can't hit a field goal anymore, so it can't be anything that has a field goal incorporated in it.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, we don't have to get into it, but like, man, that decision to punt it. I mean, yeah, just a lack of confidence in your kicker. So
And I honestly, I don't fault him in that situation. I think that was the correct call by Sirianni.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. I mean,
people are beating him up for that around,
which
like,
blows my mind. It's like, man, you can't try. I get it would put it up 2 scores. I get it. But if you miss that, and the probability of you missing that is pretty high because of how Elliott's been, not just this game, mind you, and Sirianni said that the wind was kind of crazy down there, even, you guys didn't see it, which again, I said last pod, I don't give a shit. He's kicked through worse. But,
Right.
The way he's been just in that game, but, you look past, like he hasn't hit anything from 50 plus. I mean, he's sporadic when he is inside of 50. He's missing extra points. Like, I'm sorry, my faith is fucking rattled. Like, I don't have confidence anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I
was say pin them deep, trust your defense that's been playing well,
The
Yeah,
win
I
there,
get that.
The win there, though, I get it. You're always going to have win there because, again, you're basically on the Delaware River, which is gigantic there. And then you got people blazing doing 90 on 95, which is right beside the stadium. You know what I mean? So it's always going to be wind.
Yeah, and he knows that. He's kicked through that. He's kicked through worse. So that's I have no sympathy for that argument. Like, no, I'm sorry. It's not a tornado out there. Homeboy, it's not a hurricane. Homeboy has kicked through worse, man. So
yeah. It's just if we don't have a kicker that can kick, field
we're in
goal,
trouble.
Yeah, it's going to put us at a disadvantage moving forward.
Get Rodrigo in here.
Rodrigo.
The rec specs. Get him in.
Clean them up. Clean them rec specs up.
Well, guys, let's get out of here. If you want to call the show, it's 215-469-1480. Please, somebody call. Please, if nobody calls. If you want to email us at speakingbirds@gmail.com. Fellas, it's a pleasure, and I know we're gonna handle business.
Yes, sir.
Go Birds. Go Birds.
Go Birds.